Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the Divine Nine came together to fundraise more than $1 million for the 2024 election. And the new program is giving the chance for local singer-songwriters to showcase their talents.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Hi, we've landed. It's Friday. Jim Freeman here. Glad you're here. We're just seconds away from 5 o'clock. Tim Drawbridge, our meteorologist, is here this morning. Tim, I won't tell folks where I was yesterday if you won't tell us where you were yesterday. Good morning, sir.
You got a deal there, Jim. That is for sure. Fog is an issue across portions of eastern and southern Kentucky this morning. It's locally dense in spots, so keep that in mind. And 64 outside our door here at WYMT. Visibilities, as you can see, less than the optimal 10 in a lot of locations this morning, especially as you make your way out toward Wayne County and Williamsburg. Just several hundred feet, at least, of the reporting station. It is 69 as you make your way into Jackson right now, 70 at Harlan, mid-60s back your way at Williamsburg, 65 at Irvin. The satellite radar composite, yes, the clouds continue to stream above us, and the boundary that pushed through very slowly yesterday is situated just to our south. Gorgeous weather, not far away here, but we'll eventually get into it. It's a slow go. And because of this boundary draped to our south, we're going to throw the risk still of a pop-up shower or thunder shower. Middlesboro over toward Monticello and sending over toward Kingsport as we head through the afternoon today. Otherwise, for the rest of us, it's just simply partly sunny and the humidity slowly dropping, a high of 85. The weekend forecast in a few moments. Jim?
Thanks, Tim. Tim and Jim AWOL on Thursday. A sea of blue painted Main Street in downtown Whitesburg Thursday evening. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us how a march symbolized strength and unity through any obstacle.
Organizers with Help End Addiction for Life, or HEAL, set up an event each year.
And so we gather every July to get together, have resources available for those in recovery, and to march through downtown to show our support for those in recovery and their families.
Other organizations joined in the march.
A rising tide lifts all boats. Collaboration amongst key organizations is crucial in fighting the addiction epidemic.
Symbolizing strength and recovery from addiction and other obstacles in life. At the end of the march, participants saw a project also symbolizing recovery, the newly painted Whitesburg Stairs.
And the steps turned out more beautiful than I could have imagined.
Ribbon was cut as they celebrated the project. The hard work was completed.
It's been wonderful to see community come together for this, whether they painted a step, done priming, or just put their thumbprint on it.
And the climb began, putting the finishing touches on a march showing unity. In Whitesburg, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Thanks, Chandler. The design for the Whitesburg Stairs was created by Letcher County artist Lacey Hale. They lead up to the Kane Kitchen. The National Panhellenic Council, the Divine Nine, announced an unprecedented voter registration campaign. Within hours of doing so, thousands of black women raised more than $1 million for Kamala Harris' campaign. Yesterday, Grayson Passmore was able to talk with a local political expert about these efforts.
The Divine Nine represents over 2.5 million members from historically black fraternities and sororities with chapters in every major U.S. city. And it has significant history of mobilizing political participation.
We're seeing this new energy, and I think younger voters are incredibly engaged, and also seeing, members of the Divine Nine being engaged as well, right? They're joining that.
Along with Vice President Kamala Harris, Dr. Renetta Davis is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She says with Harris running for president, they've seen the intergenerational organizing of black women and men.
Representation matters so much. And so for a lot of us, for black women, seeing someone who looks like us, right? That's the thing that serves it's galvanizing. It's like, wow, I see that, I can be that.
After Biden officially stepped down on Sunday, more than 44,000 black women joined a Zoom call that raised more than $1.5 million for Harris's campaign.
Harris's emergence as the likely presidential candidate has caused some voters who would not have been paying attention to get excited and pay attention.
Political expert Dr. Stephen Voss says the excitement Harris is generating among people of color could result in a higher turnout in some communities. in what could be a close election.
It's not clear that Harris is going to be any more appealing as a political leader to young voters, and especially young progressive voters, than Biden was. That's a choice Harris will be making in coming days.
In Lexington, Grayson Passmore, WKYT.
A partnership at the Appalachian Center for the Arts is working to highlight the voices from the region. Songs and Stories is a new series at the App, through which Dead Street Productions is giving the stage to area singer-songwriters. The event aims to amplify mountain musicians, inviting folks to hear them sing and share their stories.
And we've invited 4 artists that we've worked with previously to come in and play a few of their songs acoustically, and just kind of have a conversation, very similar to like a singer-songwriter round, about the songwriting process and just kind of the stories.
The event kicks off tomorrow night for the first performances of the series, and you can still get tickets. After years of waiting, a new fishing dock is almost complete in Greenup County. The renovation project at the Little Sandy boat ramp began many years ago, but now with non-shallow water, emergency personnel and boaters can use it to access the water. The county is also receiving a grant from the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources to pay for a new fishing dock. One boy says he's excited to be able to fish close to home.
To fish off of it so we don't have to bring our boat every 5 seconds. So it's a lot of a hassle to bring our boat every time, so we can just fish off the dock.
Greenup County Judge Executive Bobby Hall says people who will prosper off of the dock are people using it, which includes businesses and folks all throughout the county. Hall says that they plan to have new power poles by August and hope to start on a walking bridge and picnic shelter in the spring. The Kentucky Retail Federation says back-to-school shopping is the second biggest busiest time for retailers. The National Retail Federation predicts total back-to-school spending will reach nearly $39 billion. Steve McLean says they are seeing people start their shopping earlier this year as to avoid a big upfront cost. McLean says families with children in elementary through high school will spend roughly $850,000 on their school supplies and clothing.
Retailers are kind of offering, some pretty reasonable deals on those essential supplies that kids have to have.
But at the end of the day, it's still very costly. And as president of the Fayette County Education Association, Jessica Heiler says there's little to no work around. For teachers, Hiller says they spend upwards of $700 a year on supplies for their classroom. And thanks for getting your day started with us here on Mountain News this morning. Still to come, some teams are using every advantage they can in this year's Olympic Games, including new ways to control body temperature.
And a nice start temperature-wise as we rock and roll through your Friday. The question is, fog issues now, how long will they last? And will a few of us have to experience a shower threat today? Details with the First Alert 7-day forecast right after this.